Hey guys, GC speaking here, and I'm hoping you're enjoying this Halloween spectacular combination here. Um, we had a opening that really twisted the mind. We've had some games we've played. We're going to be talking about Paranormal Ventures. We're going to be talking about witchcraft. Um, my friends are going to stop by here and there in between stuff. Yeah. So I'm hoping you guys are enjoying this. This section is me telling you about my paranormal adventures. Now, earlier in the month, or well, this past week or last week, I talked about two things I went through paranormal adventure wise. I was once in a paranormal group. I was like the co-founder of it. I created it with my family and stuff when I was 16 years old, and we went places and we investigated hauntings and stuff like that. And if you watch my last two videos on my paranormal adventures, those were two crazy hauntings. Um, this next one is going to be just what is that? It looks like a paper cut or something. Ooh, ow. Anyways, this next one is going to be just as kind of creepy, and then I'm going to tell you some personal experiences I myself have had in my own house, in my own bedroom. Not here, a house that I used to live in. I lived in for 19 years and stuff. But yeah, okay. This next one, we went to an old, very, very, very old cemetery. Very old cemetery. And, like, sadly, it's out by, it's out, like, in a field, like, and stuff. And, like, it actually has a stone wall that goes up, and there's an entryway. So it's kind of really cool. It's kind of like a cemetery that's been forgotten by time and stuff. But sadly, kids have actually went back there and knocked down a lot of headstones and stuff. And I've heard that they're actually in the middle of replacing a lot of the old headstones, so they won't be. But yeah, so we went out there one night, and it was very. The setting itself was very creepy by itself because of the fact you're out in the middle of a field that's dark and scary and stuff, and yeah. But once we started going and stuff, we actually took pictures. I don't know if I can find these pictures. If I can, I'm going to add them in here, and maybe here, maybe here, and but there's like this one that we were looking through the photos and stuff, and by the cemetery, this is like white, white, like, and it's like white. It has like purplish in it, and blue and orange and stuff. And at first, we just thought it was like a wildflower growing out from underneath the headstone. And then we zoomed in on it, and like it has its own form and everything to it and stuff. And at first, we thought it was a bug, but when we zoomed back and stuff, the size of this light was huge. If that was a bug there, that was a freaking huge bug and stuff. And it like emanated its own light, and that's what was so creepy about it and stuff. And then we got high, like off the chart EMF spikes there and stuff. And like there's no power lines that go over us back in this field. There was no power lines. There was no houses around with power lines. The closest house was I know it was a good 5 minute walk from the cemetery, at least. It, I mean, I don't want to say 5 minute walk because depends on how you walk, I guess. Because it's probably about a 10 minute walk from my grandparents' house, but it's just it was far away from any kind of power sources and stuff. What there was should be no EMFs, and it was like spiking up in the red, which meant like really high dangerous EMFs. So yeah, and then it would go down to zero right in the same spot. Obviously, we couldn't take temperatures there because obviously it was outside, so that didn't work. But then there was this back area where there was like an overgrowth of trees that were like draping down. This area is like surrounded by trees on all three sides, and then you have the stone fence in the front. And this back area, they had where they had started replacing the headstones and stuff. They were taking the old headstones and stacking them up in the back corner. And seriously, every time you went to go into that back corner and stuff, you felt this deep, dark presence back there that you didn't want to go near. And like there was three of us, and we all were like, "Do you guys feel that same way?" Because like we didn't want to go back in that corner. There was like it was something there that made us not want to go back there and stuff. And of course, a lot of skeptics would say, "Oh, it's just in your mind," blah 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 stuff. But you have those feelings like when you enter a place that you shouldn't be in, and you get that like over sense of like we shouldn't be here. And that's exactly how I felt. It was that feeling so strong and stuff. We got a couple of EVPs I remember from there, but like the background noises of the crickets and stuff was so loud that you couldn't really make out anything. But I do remember hearing, I think we heard like a child's voice and a child laughter, which is, if you know me, that is the creepiest thing ever. It's really creepy. I don't like creepy child laughter, especially ghostly child laughter. It's really creepy. It's really creepy. But yeah, so that's my third paranormal adventure thing stuff. So yeah. Later on, I will share another paranormal adventure thing that's more personal on a personal level that I've only shared with a couple of people, I believe. So yeah. So I hope you guys enjoy the rest of this spectacular.